I wrote a little song to remind you Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? Alright. Bring a date, your team, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
Thad, the World Cup is here. It is officially here.
It is, man. And I am going to be at a game as a fan for the first time in I don't know how long, man. It's forever.
At the Argentina game?
Yeah.
Really?
I have a question, man. This is not the way we plan to start it because I have to like throw curveballs at you.
I didn't know you were going to that first one as a fan. That was a curveball right here in the quick intro that we're trying to do. That was
Well, I've said before that my daughter bought tickets and said that she just wanted to go to a World Cup game with Dad. And so it's really tough because I did technically get credentialed as a photo tribune, which means I would sit in the stands shooting it.
Oh, is that what that means? I was wondering. I was seeing Tribune on the thing. Okay.
At least that's my understanding of it.
You can still take pictures from where you're sitting. You can take pictures of Messi from where you're sitting.
Well, yeah. Again, I'm not even sure of how that'll get approved, all that stuff. So anyway, the calls comes in play. But I'm going to respect what my daughter wanted and go as a fan. So I'm going to sit in the stands. And the problem is, what do I wear? I am so used to wearing very nondescript, just gray shirts, blue shirts.
Yes, that's the problem. What do you wear to this game? That's what we want everyone to be excited about in this podcast. Where I was trying to go, the game is here. We are going to preview the Paraguay game. It is the most important one right off the bat, and we're not going to mess it up. And it is Paraguay, not Panama, which I've been saying in the pregame. We are the Kansas City Soccer Journal, and we are here to talk about the U.S. men's national team hosting the 2026 World Cup. First game on Friday night, 8 p.m. Central, because that's the real time zone in America. It makes the most sense for all sports. The Central time zone, the God's time zone. Anyway, 8 p.m. Friday night, we're going to talk about the Paraguay game. But first, we have yet to discuss the last game with Germany, the last warm-up match, 2-1 loss against a very good team. That we dropped a point in the one level in the FIFA rankings from losing to Germany. That doesn't seem fair.
I know Germany didn't go up for beating us, but we went down one,
and they're only like 4 ahead, right? I don't know. That seems odd. Well, Germany, good team.
They're 10th place, and we were 16th, and we dropped to 17th.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
Uruguay passed us because we dropped 4 points.
Okay, that's fair. Robert, the Germany game, the last warm-up game, we saw the presumed lineup that Poach is going to go with. Honestly, I'm still not even convinced on that. We still might see something weird that I kind of think is going to happen. But what did we learn? What did we get from this Germany game?
Well, first of all, Cody, I must apologize to any of our amigos that are listening because the World Cup begins Thursday, the 11th, Mexico versus South Africa. So apologies to you, gentlemen. It's not just the United States.
And congrats to them. Like, I actually think that's a wonderful way to kick off this World Cup. Like, Mexico City and then that stadium is going to be rocking. Like, shout out to them. And also because they didn't really get much of anything else. Canada and Mexico kind of got screwed in the way all this worked out. So yeah, shout out to them. They get the first one. But real World Cup starts on Friday.
So yeah, Cody, we talked last pod about the men's national team, how we didn't want them to come out afraid against Germany, wanted them to come out, attacking with pace, with confidence.
Get over that stigma.
And we did after we let Germany score. So, because we dominated the next 35 minutes of that half.
Then they remembered.
Looked like a team.
They remembered what
dangerous.
We told them.
and correct me if I'm wrong or if you think I'm an idiot, but Germany looked a little frightened, like, whoa, what is happening here? Because they were a little nervous. They were a little rushed in what they were trying to do defensively, just clearing balls out, get it out of here. So I think we put a scare into Germany for 35 minutes there.
Thad, did Germany look scared? I don't know if they look scared, but I've been saying this attack for the U.S. from not just like the front three, but into the midfield and all of it blending together. The attack for the U.S. I think is very good and is going to cause problems for very good teams. Germany is a good. It's the German machine, organized. They know what they're doing. It's not necessarily that their defense is the best in the world, but that is an organized system that they play there, and they did give them, and the US gave them fits. I don't know if they look scared, that, but I do think
Yeah.
I think they were causing a lot of problems, and I think that's what I'm very excited to see here.
I don't think they were scared. I think they were surprised. So, like, I think
Mhm.
all the world order was in perfect harmony when they scored in the first few minutes of the game, right? It was easy. There was a foul, boom. There was, a little funny run up and the ball comes over, boom. Freeze doesn't come off his line. All that stuff happens. And all the world is perfect for Germany. And then the US retaliated and came back and attacked and attacked. And I don't want to say they look scared, but they were like, this is not right. This is not how it's supposed to work.
All was going great, and then Pearl Harbor happened, and the US got angry about something, and they turned around.
Pearl Harbor. Okay, good, interesting reference. Hmm.
All
Okay.
right, Belushi. When the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor, we got pissed.
Right. John Belushi, yes.
Um,
But
but I
no,
think, yeah, they look good.
yeah, I mean, there are a couple of things we could look at as far as, didn't look so great. Tyler Adams foul to leave that goal. I mean, Tyler knows better than that. Does it mean there's a little concern about his injury? Is he not as confident because he's feel like he's going to injure himself, or he's not 100%? So he was a little late on that tackle that led to the goal. I don't know,
No,
but
just the kind of
no,
player. He's that kind of player. Just he had a late
to make
foul.
a dumb foul.
He had a late foul. It happens. He mixes it up. He gets stuck in. He had a late foul.
And remember, when the game started, it was sunny and then it started pouring rain right when the game started. So, like,
Yeah.
everybody, like, now the field's slicker, the visibility is a little different. A lot of things changed in that first few minutes of the game. Trust me, I was scrambling to try to get my camera covered. Um, it was just not quite right. So that may have led, I didn't say led, but may have been a slight contribution to that first foul.
Possibly, yeah. But then, I mean, Reem lets himself get picked, basically. Robinson doesn't follow or he does follow the decoy run and doesn't follow the actual runner on that. Little mistakes that you can't afford to make, number one, against Germany, and number two, that at this level, you're going to pay for.
Which I'm sure we will discuss at a later point. What do does this lineup stay the same for the next game? What
Well,
do you think
that's the
changes?
question, right? Chris Richards, right? That's the big question mark from all that we've heard. Tom Bogert, et cetera, are saying that he participated fully in training on Monday, even though it was a light training. But Richards himself, I believe, has said that he's ready to go. But of course, he's going to say that, right?
No, he's ready. He was gonna. I think a few days after that injury, I think it was said that he thought he was gonna be back. We thought he was gonna be back, and he's there. Same with Messi. They're
Yeah.
both, and with both of them, both teams would have been very careful in the first return back, and I think they've known. I think they've known the whole time, and we got to get Chris Richards out there.
Okay. So is he starting in your mind, Cody, or how
Yes,
does that work?
yeah, just give him to him. Am I wrong about that, Thad?
Well, without knowing the full 100% medical, everything to know about it, I would probably start him just based upon the fact that it's been a certain amount of time from when he was injured. It's a World Cup, all these other factors. But I really wouldn't want to risk him if there's still really
Yeah.
much of any doubt.
Yeah, if there's any question, then I do think that we can get 3 points against Paraguay without him. But and again, that still means Miles Robinson is going to be out on the field. But I don't, we there's been some bad moments with him. But I'm on the side of that. this is anything that happened after this doesn't really matter. These are our 26 guys, and Miles Robinson is going to throw his body in front of some shot in a big moment, and going to do something that makes me happy. So they're all going to contribute here at some point. And I don't necessarily feel like all is lost if any of them are out there. So if there is a question with Chris Richards, then I think we can put 3 guys out there and survive with 3 points against Paraguay.
Well, I'm still a little confused on why Robinson's the choice over McKenzie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Coming
no.
back from an injury, Robinson is. McKenzie had a very good club season. I'm not quite sure I get that.
But if he's playing 3, then Miles Robinson's gonna be out there.
Okay.
3 with when you say because he's playing 3, you need to have Miles out there because there's not enough to have others. But I mean, there is. So McKenzie, Freeman,
Yeah, and
Robinson,
Trusty,
Ream.
and
I mean, yeah.
yeah, I don't
So
know, but it's for what Pochettino's been doing, it seems like Miles is, one of his top 3 options, unless he's still just been tinkering, which is very possible. And that's what I mean. I like something like Berhalter. I'm it wouldn't blow my mind if he started Sebastian Berhalter in this first game somewhere in the midfield.
Whoa.
I'm not
Whoa.
even like Pochettino's gonna do what he does, and I'm not convinced that that was his exact lineup. I, not that I'm like trying to have some hot take here and a big prediction. Pochettino has done things to surprise us, and I don't know.
So do you think he takes place of McKennie, of Tillman? Who's he gonna take out?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he likes Tillman, and McKinney's got to be on the field. So yeah, I don't know, and obviously Adams as well. But yeah, I guess Tillman would be the one. But he does like Tillman a lot. So
yeah.
Well, I would like to move McKennie up into that more attacking spot because the second half versus Germany, that's where he was,
and
and
yeah,
he seemed to be more effective.
which would leave another spot open in there. So I don't. That's what I mean. There's different little tweaks that Poach can do, and I like that he has seemingly set up his team for that. If for nothing else than like in-game adjustments.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to play the same way against every team. And that's
Right.
unlike a lot of coaches we've seen in the past in this world. It's not going to be the same lineup that runs out there just because that's the guys he ran out last time. I do agree with that for Pochettino. He's going to put out the guys who he thinks will do the right thing for the next game. So,
Yeah, I
So
mean, if Richards has gotten enough in practice this week and his communication and the reading of each other is all good, it's all come back like, riding a bike with him and Ream or whoever, then yeah, I can see him starting.
So nothing specifically from the Germany game do we think will change Poach's mind in a big way, or how they're playing, or who he's choosing.
Well, what do you guys think? Freese not coming off his line there, is that a worry to you guys? Turner's
I
been playing well. I don't
I,
know.
I kind of in my head I think I would prefer Turner at this point. And Robert, you and I kind of mentioned the documentary on HBO that has been coming out that's quite good, and everybody should go check that out. But part of me just wonders, he Pochettino comes in, maybe he does see Turner as the guy, and he's been trying to motivate him and find this next level to him. And also maybe he did kind of like Freese, and Freese was the guy there for a minute and performed in some big moments and all this. But yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't hate it if all of a sudden he was like, you know what, you're our guy, Matt, and go out there and get it. And sometimes in sports you go with the hot hand on a keeper, and that might not be terrible. I don't hate Freese. In the last 2 times we've seen him, he has not been perfect, and I'm not all the way confident in him, but I not any more so than I necessarily would be with Turner.
well, none of them have been 100%
I know,
confident, inspiring.
I know.
I mean, honestly, again, I don't have anything against Turner. I don't have anything against Freeze. I almost feel Turner at sometimes I like lean towards Turner because we know he's at least played really well in the past.
Yeah,
Maybe he hasn't been at his 100% best, but he's not been bad. I mean, he's been pretty decent. Freeze had that one goal that he just gave up against Germany. He could have done differently. The other goal, I don't necessarily blame him. That was definitely on the defense. Well, both of them were on the defense, but at the end, maybe the day before the game, Pochettino grabs a 50-cent piece and says, heads, it's Matt, tails, it's Matt.
yeah. I like it.
And we all know a hot goalkeeper can carry you through a group stage.
Yep.
So,
That's right. The hot hand.
We just know it's not Brady.
Yeah. We're all in agreement on that one.
but no, Cody, about the HBO special, there's this moment, Matt Turner in college, he gets his opportunity to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
And, if you haven't seen it, fans out there, tune into that and just see what happens to Matt Turner and when he gets his chance in
Oh,
college and what
that is
happens.
yeah, that's part of Turner's origin story.
Yeah.
That's who made him who he is. I remember seeing I was watching that documentary. I was like, once he started to become a focus, I was like, they better show that embarrassing moment. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind if all of a sudden Pochettino had just spent the last 12 months trying to motivate Turner, and then he surprises him here with "It's all on you, buddy." And after you've been fighting and all of this, yeah, wouldn't hate that. But if for no other reason than just because, like you said, Thad, I don't love either of them with all my heart. So
I kind of root for Turner a little bit because he's one of two players that was alive when the World Cup was last held in the United States.
okay, that's a valid stat right there.
He he was born during the last World Cup here.
Right. Okay, let's take a break, and then we're gonna talk about Paraguay.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
All right, Friday night, 8 p.m. Central. The ball will finally start rolling against Paraguay. The last time we played them, a massive brawl, Robert. And it's just, as it is with any South American team, it's going to be scratchy and gritty, and especially with the backdrop of what happened the last game. And if that's what makes me nervous about this, if they're going to turn it into not a soccer game, then this first game is very important. If all of a sudden we drop points or don't get the win or just draw or we lose entirely because someone got mad and elbowed someone and we get someone sent off. We've seen this happen before, Tim Weah in in the Copa America. I just this first game makes me nervous. Obviously, we are a better quality team, but the backdrop of this last game and the brawl and that it has happened and that people are angry and I just I just hope everything that this team has learned over recent years doesn't. I hope that helps them in staying focused and actually playing this a real soccer game.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Freeman started against Germany. He'll probably be starting that game, and he's the one who
Yep.
had the brawl with a tug of war with a throw in for the ball, and
Yep.
he ended
Yep.
up
Yep.
getting in a headlock. He put in a headlock by the Paraguayan
He was in
player.
an
So
entire headlock, and the guy that did it didn't even get sent off. I don't even think he got a red card or suspended anything
there was
afterwards.
no VAR then. So
Yeah.
yeah, but the game itself against Paraguay was not chippy. But like you said, there may be holdovers from that moment. But I was listening to David Gass and Doyle and Bogart's podcast today,
Hmm.
and they have a theory that part of that brawl, who stood up for the team and who fought in that brawl, ended up getting picked. They're like, Aiden
Mm,
Morris was just standing there watching, and maybe that's the reason he's not on the roster, and some other
valid
guys
point.
are. I don't know if I agree with that theory, but interesting.
That would be interesting if that had any play in it whatsoever. And in some ways, I could believe it because Pochettino's very much a
Absolutely.
fight for
Yeah.
this team and all that stuff. Although the one guy who we know fought for the team a lot and sacrificed his face. Not that it's much of a sacrifice, but he didn't end up making the team in Luna, right? So
Yeah.
Okay. We're all sad about Luna. We're gonna miss him out there. I think he should be out there. But these are our 26 guys. We need to not be reminiscing about him anymore. These are our 26 guys.
I was just using it in comparison of who got selected and not. That was all.
I know.
If you were
Diego
Peter
Luna.
Vermes, Cody, you'd be like, "We don't talk about guys who aren't on the team."
That's the mentality I was going for. We learned from Peter Vermees around here. So, Robert, they have had not just one very key injury in the last week or so, but they also have had several injuries. Paraguay has. They're without their best player. I think it's Julio Enciso. I'm probably not saying that right, but man, as much as that is awful for this player, 5 days or 6 days before a World Cup to get hurt and in your last warm up game, absolutely awful for this player. But again, I'm nervous about this game. So
How badly is he hurt? Do you know?
I believe he is officially out. I guess I haven't necessarily heard that, but the last I saw was that he might not play at all.
So, Cody, you say you're nervous for the game. Are you like a stand in front of the TV
Yes.
guy, arms crossed? How is your pose there?
I know the standing in front of a TV is supposed to be a dad thing. I've been doing that since college. I like standing and pacing. I'm a pacer. And yeah, so I don't actually at the current moment have any like big plans to go watch this, and I am notorious for not wanting to watch big games around a crowd of people and stupid people. I like to be, especially if it's a heightened moment. I need to I need to be able to do and say what I need to say and do to make myself feel better.
Right?
So I will absolutely probably be pacing around. I'm gonna sneak in a couple volleyball games before this. So I'm gonna come home,
Ah, okay.
you know, get settled, and then yes, I'll probably be standing 6 inches from the television behind me, pacing, and yeah, that's how I'll be
But
doing it.
no phone's gonna end up being thrown through the drywall or no drink at the TV, hopefully.
Can you believe Pulisic admitted that? Like
I
what?
know,
Like
yeah.
yeah, Thad, you're making a face there. That this was on this thing on HBO on this documentary that Pulisic, upon taking that summer off and seeing what Landon Donovan said about him taking that summer off, he was like, I got really pissed and I threw my phone and the camera showed a hole in his wall where the phone hit. Like it's just I'm so surprised that he admitted that US soccer would have wanted that out there. Yeah, I don't I guess I almost wish he would've just acted like, that didn't bother him too much, and if you are gonna say that, I thought it was odd that they didn't dive into that more, like, I think he should have had a response to, to Donovan if you were saying, "I was so mad, I damaged my home," I would have liked to have seen, an official response. He gave his piece on why he did it, and it's quite reasonable, except if you're Yunus Musa, apparently, who did the same and
Mhm.
got snubbed.
Right.
Uh, so and like I don't hold too much ill will for Pulisic because I've just seen the way he gets kicked every time he plays for this team,
Yeah.
and so I was not too bothered by that because I did want him to be in the right mindset and physical ability when this time came. So I didn't hate that and I don't blame him for it. But if you're gonna show that it affected him that much, I just really wish we would have seen him say like, Landon, like you're ridiculous, man. You know how this goes. Like you're an asshole for even saying that. Like I wanted to see there should have been something there.
That's interesting because I do at times think that Pulisic acts a little bit of a whiny baby sometimes on the field when something goes wrong,
He can, yeah,
and
but
but at the same time, I had less of a problem with him taking that summer off that a lot of people did because he played a lot of soccer between club and national team and Champions League and all these other things for a long period of time, and that was going to be his really only time off to before next year. I mean, that's the next time he's really going to have a chance to have just a time off for any length of time.
now Now, if we're a real footballing nation, though, Thad, if that happens, then people are going to get mad. Like, you're going to take some heat
Right.
in the media and from anyone, really. Like, that's just, if any other club in the world, that's how that is. Now, I would also say, though, if your best player, like you, the guy that is he's not in my opinion, but the guy that is kind of the face of and the presumed best player that is your biggest hope if in any country, if England, if any of those countries, if that guy who's been playing that many games wants to take a summer off, I think that guy, it is understandable. But Of course, it's just the way it is. If we're a proper footballing nation, you're gonna take some heat, and I think it's okay that these guys that are now being paid to give these opinions are doing it, you know?
Oh, piss off, man. Like this proper footballing nation thing. We are a proper footballing nation. We're top 20 in the world, you know. We have a decent league, all this other stuff. And when Landon Donovan criticizes somebody for not necessarily playing every single possible opportunity, I
Mhm.
remember when I criticized him for doing that. And he was the best player on our team or one of the
Yeah.
two best players on the team. And I've just kind of gotten a lot past that because, well, you know what? They play even more now than they used to back then. So I guess I don't I feel like at one time I would have criticized him, but I've grown past that, and so should we, because it's a different world
Him
now.
him specifically is,
Yes.
that was the one that made Pulisic throw his phone, but obviously a lot of other people in the media and former players were saying it. But yeah, you would think Landon Donovan specifically would be the one guy that, like, Landon, you know how this goes, man. You know what Pulisic's been going through. You know the way CONCACAF treats him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think there were some former players that were okay with it too, though, weren't there? I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely. Yeah,
And look at what happened too. He took that summer off, and he had the best
right.
half season with AC Milan he's ever
And
had.
I do
yeah.
think he is in great form right now. I think he has like a certain look in his eye, and he appears hungrier than we've seen. And I hopefully it turns out that it was like clear and obviously the right choice for him.
I hope there's some point where he's lifting the damn, World Cup trophy and he just turns to the camera and says, "Piss off, Landon," or other words that I won't say it in order to keep this at a fairly decent rating
No,
for children to listen
not
to.
not while
Well, it
hoisting the
wasn't just
trophy,
Landon though, like you
but
said.
later on, like after the game, as like on a social media clip, as he's doing that. We
Yeah.
don't want to be focusing on Landon Donovan as we're doing the trophy hoist for the
No,
World
no,
Cup.
I
But
agree. I do agree, but at the same time, I do hope that that clip shows up.
yeah, yeah,
And again, it
okay.
wasn't just Landon, as Cody said.
Right, but, Landon's the one I do have the problem with, like, he's the one that should've he probably shoulda just shut his mouth on
Yeah,
that one.
he's the one that's taking time off. He's the one that didn't wanna go to Europe.
Yeah,
He's the one that supported
Yeah.
Mexico.
yeah. Okay, so Paraguay, several players. Also notable on this team, Thad, several MLS guys. 3, 4 MLS guys, I think they have,
Yeah.
including Miguel Almiron is one of them.
Yeah,
So
Miguel Almiron, Andres Cubas, however you say his name, Brian Ojeda, and Matias Galarza.
and
So
Ojeda is there too, yeah,
and Cubas, however you say his name, is also teammates with Berhalter.
right.
So, little white cap on white cap action.
So depending on what camp you're in, like, oh, 4 MLS players, this team sucks. Or maybe, these guys will come out on the field with a bunch of other MLS guys and not be intimidated by these Americans that they're playing with. Another worry point for me, a 38-year-old grizzled veteran keeper. That makes me nervous. I know it's like, okay, old keeper. We watched Jimmy Nielsen with broken ribs win MLS Cup for Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah.
The grizzle, this is how you win World Cups, is you have these key players like this. Ours, Tim Ream. They've got the grizzled veteran in goal that just always seems to be a problem in the World Cup. It makes me nervous.
The nice thing about a keeper versus a defender, though, is he doesn't have to run up and down the field as much.
Right. That guy, he gets to stand
So
there, and Tim Ream has to try to run up and down with Miguel Almiron.
yeah.
So it's
Thank
not going to
goodness
be an easy
Almiron
game.
isn't the player he used to be. Thank
No,
goodness.
no, he's not. But he is a very dangerous, very crafty player. Whether he's got that speed or not, he's gonna be
Yeah.
a handful.
Mentioning the four that are from MLS, and I know there's some from on the U.S. team and all that. I did see a stat earlier today, and I don't know if it's accurate, so I don't want to swear by it. But it was something like 45 MLS players that are in the World Cup,
Yeah,
and like 27 or 32, something like that, from the Premier League. So
yeah,
more MLS players in the World Cup. Now, of course, the MLS players are more on Uruguays and
yeah. No, they're
not Panamas and
They're on the teams that are now on the World Cup that wouldn't have made the World Cup without the expanded roster.
Right. Paraguay, Curacao, whatever.
The
So it's
Uzbekistans of the
yeah.
world.
But hey, I mean, in that idea, a fair amount of the US players are either from MLS academies or played in MLS at
Mhm.
one time. So
Yep. Which is why when people say the golden generation, Cody turns redder than he does normally and goes after him, talking about how, the US has a better generation coming next time and
And
next
then the next
time.
one after and the next one after that, every single time after this, better generations. We just started.
And
This is the first generation. No, Robert, the on that HBO documentary, there's the one of the journalists that is kind of like the star of it that they follow. He keeps saying golden generation. And
I know.
like
I
Thad just said, my face gets
Every
red
time he
every
says that, I
time.
think of you, Cody. I'm like, oh God,
Ugh.
Cody will hate this.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
Paul Torino from The Athletic.
Yes, yeah, sorry, I couldn't get Torino out of my head, yeah.
Yeah.
And who's obviously very good, like, and I
Yeah.
and I love Torino, I just have a I have a thing with the golden generation. So,
Cody, did you catch me and Jimmy Mack in that? Did you see us?
I saw just because you noted it, yes, I saw I saw the both of you in your glimpse on HBO, yeah, well done. So, okay, this Paraguay team, missing some players, all of that, but the thing that just it strikes me at the beginning of every World Cup, we look at the group and we have better quality players, you have all this, but it's like, man, once the whistle blows and the ball starts rolling, none of that matters anymore. And then all of a sudden, this is a guy like Miguel Almiron. That's a dangerous player. And the guys on
Right.
our team know that's a dangerous player. We I just once that ball starts rolling, none of any of this matters. And this is not a bad team. Like this is a team that is gonna cause some problems. And the US have to be on point and let their quality show, and they need to know that this is the beginning of the World Cup and every single minute matters.
Well, the danger, like you've been talking about, Cody, is I think we're going to have him hold the ball. And I'm afraid that the Weston McKennies, who's playing, in that kind of midfield role, in that number 8 next to Adams, is going to get so locked in on attacking that they're going to have a counterattack. They're going to go bypass, our midfield really quick, and then they're in on Ream and Robinson, and it may not be pretty.
and this game needs to be a good solid win for the US so that they're not playing scared for the next 2 games.
I know, that's what I mean, like, just with the brawl and, it just once that ball starts rolling, anything can happen. A couple bad calls, and then we have to get a goal in the last 20 minutes of this game. And if we don't, then every minute against Australia and Turkey are going to be the worst. Like, just man, the world, World Cup, everything just changes so fast, and it all goes out the window. I know, as Argentina learned the last time. So
Yeah.
literally, it just anything could happen. And yeah, this first game is just so important. You get 3 points here, and maybe the rest of it kind of falls in place. Like the Australia game's a little bit easier, and yeah, just this first game, man, the first 30 minutes of this game, I think are just it's immensely important.
Well, the good thing for the US is a lot of these guys have been there. There's a few that haven't have as much experience, but they've been here already in 2002 through the Gold Cup, through the Copa America. They've experienced the ups and downs, and this shouldn't phase them. So hopefully that's the case. Paraguay's a little more in disarray with their injuries, and just I don't think they have as many experienced players, and they don't have the talent that we've got. But I
Robert,
just
are we victims of the propaganda that is that HBO documentary? Because I that is the impression that I came away with. I was reminded that these guys, they're all the same guys that did go through all of these things that let us down so much, and like they were the ones that went through it and had to overcome it. And I I came away from that documentary thinking all of that is good. Like all of these guys have experienced it and they've had the hardships, and
yeah.
that's like the NBA playoffs are going on right now. It's like a golden rule. You can't win an NBA title unless you've gone to the playoffs and failed. And so this is just that's just kind of how it is. These guys have all been through it, and it's not the same young team that we were wondering about in this last World Cup and had all these hopes for. These are guys that have gone through it and are not going to be surprised by every moment in the World Cup.
And they've also had a coach who the passion that he exudes about the game, about soccer in general and about how you should play, I
Mhm.
think it really rubbed off on these guys. It hasn't been 100% that way in the lead up, but I think we've seen against Senegal, we've seen against Germany, that this team is pretty much locked in.
Yeah, I would agree, and it's a team that can do damage. I'm not saying I can't predict what will happen, right? Anything can happen, a bad bounce, a bad call, whatever. They're a team that can do damage. They can play against some of the top teams in the world, and they're playing on home soil. They have the home soil bump, right? So we don't know how far they can go. We play games of predicting this and all the lead ups and stuff. Reality comes down to this is why we play games. We have hope, we have desire, we have the chance. We're Americans. We sometimes overcome everything, and we sometimes arrogantly think we're going to be best at everything.
America.
And that is truly basically the human condition. And we play these games because we love it.
So, Cody, we're all nervous as hell about this game tomorrow night. And let's admit it, right? Because, so many things could go wrong, and we're excited to see what can go right. But, I'm
And
going to love
everybody
it.
wants to beat the Americans.
Yeah,
That's also the impression I get.
that's the
Even
other
half of
thing.
Americans.
Even
Who
half of
was
the
it?
Americans.
That's the other thing in that documentary. Who did we lose to? It was like the World Cup for them. Was it Haiti or something? I don't know. And, that's the way it's going to be. Everybody does want
It
to
is.
beat us because of all that's going on.
Speaking of that, I know we're focused on the men's World Cup here, but we are talking about the dark arts and teams that play the United States like it's their World Cup. That US women's national team versus Brazil was one of the most absurd soccer games I've ever seen and an absolute national embarrassment for Brazil. I don't understand how not every single person watching that was not ashamed and embarrassed for everyone on that field for Brazil.
Did you hear any of the quotes after from Emma Hayes?
Yes,
Like, oh, we're focused on just being,
I thought she
good,
handled it quite
well-behaved
well.
people. She
Yeah.
did. She got in some nice little digs, but all in a very
Right.
positive
'Cause
way.
she did get in some digs was the key, like, it
Yeah.
was undertones of that you
Uh,
guys are
yeah.
shitty over here.
And when the World Cup is down there next year, that everybody will be focused on proper behavior because they'll have to
Right,
be because
right.
FIFA will be here. Things like this, like, yeah. So for anybody who has not watched that game, there was 8 red cards for Brazil. 4 for players, 4 for coaches.
I think
I mean,
18 total cards wa was what it was. Yeah,
yeah,
just
10 yellows
ridiculous.
for them, 5 for the US.
Yeah,
Now, and now because we're criticizing Brazil and how they acted, I'm gonna flip because you need to like take care of your own house, right?
we dove too.
Sonnet, my God, you belong on
She
a South
flopper.
American team. Bia like gave you the lightest little shove on your shoulder and you went down like you had been shot.
Yeah, she did, but that's the point. Brazil wanted to employ the dark arts because this is their World Cup when they're playing the United States, and this is the only way that they know that they can beat them. And they got beat at their own game. It was again that is so embarrassing for them, and then they get mad about it. That's what they were trying to do the whole game, and then the U.S. did that better than them, and including scoring more goals than them to get the win. Just
Oh, they
so
did.
shameful from
No,
Brazil.
again, I got to come back. The US goal was an own goal. So it was
Okay,
a shot that was deflected in.
can't score if you
And
don't shoot, Ted.
The US lost the game before that 2-1. So Brazil won one of those games. US won one of those games. Brazil scored 3 of the 4 goals.
They did. I just
So,
that team in particular, the women's Brazil team always
yeah,
gets me, and I think it is a lame look for them that they just make it so clear that every time they play
right.
the US that it's like, we know this is the best team and we're gonna act like idiots while we play them because it's our
I
only
don't
chance.
It's not just the US, man. It's worse against the US, but it's not just the US. I remember last year watching one of their games against another South American team, and
Did Marta punch someone? Ugh, God, she's the worst.
I was so rooting for the other team because of the way they were playing. And we
Yeah,
have like Kansas City current players on that team.
yeah.
So Lorena Bia
Bia's out
Zanerato
there.
she was a current player for 2 years. It's
Okay,
it was sad.
okay. Screw that team. Go Lady Yanks. We'll be right back. Okay, keys to the game. I know that's a little sports podcasty for my normal liking. But keys to the game, what are we looking at in this World Cup kickoff game, USA Paraguay, 8 p.m. on Friday night? Robert, what are you looking for?
Hey, we got to be better in those finer moments. I mentioned that Tyler Adams
Mm.
tackle, and that's not a normal Tyler, in my opinion. He makes that tackle. It's a good tackle. It's a gets ball tackle. And then of course, in the box when we've got opportunities, we've got to put them away. And we had opportunities versus Germany, we didn't put away. We just need to do those finer things a little bit better. Everything else on our play, I think, is good. We talked about the with counterattacks perhaps, but other finer points, and the approach play is very good. Our pressing is very good. It's just those finer moments that are gonna
Finer
win.
moments.
Whether it's a nice win against Paraguay or it's a nail biter that we're dying till the end.
I like that a lot, Robert. The finer moments. I think the way this team has looked, they look good in these moments, they look good there, and then there's just I think it just comes down to like locking in for the entire 90 minutes. And this team has been good until they weren't. And you're right. There's few finer moments, and you can't do that in the World Cup. I like this, the finer moments.
And that goal against Germany that we allowed, that was not
Right.
us being strong in the finer moments.
Yeah, as we're talking about Sporting KC as the KC people here. That was Peter Vermees, the lock in for the entire 90 minutes, and the second you drop anything, that's where it is, and especially in the World Cup when everyone is playing with a passion that is unmatched in any competition in the world.
One of the Vermees lines was every roll of the ball.
Yeah,
Right.
And I always like that because not every player is locked in for every roll of the ball. And if you are, you stand a much better chance. And Robert might say the finer moments, but I just like to say that you're locked in, right? You can't take a moment off. You can't like not be concentrated.
and I think, guys, I think that's a now that Pochettino is in there. That is one specific point that I would say you could see how the differences in coaching from a person like Greg Berhalter to Pochettino would be the Greg Berhalter friends with everybody kind of thing, and I think that served well for a long time, and then I think Pochettino a bit more down to business and lock in for 120 minutes if necessary. So I think I that makes me feel better on that front to have a guy like Pochettino there than somebody that's their best buddy. So Thad, your key to the game. What are you looking for?
Uh, Defense. I think one of the weaknesses has been Robinson, Ream, and Robinson out there together. Not enough concentration, not enough focus, not enough finer moments, not enough speed, not enough a lot of little things.
Defense is
So
the question.
I don't worry a lot about the other parts. They'll either be good enough or they won't be good enough. But we already know the defense has not been good enough the last couple of games.
And that
And
we
I
haven't even seen, like, the presumed guys all together, really,
right,
so a lot of
we don't
questions.
know how much Chris Richards will play. If he plays, all
If
of those things come into
and if he plays, like, how what that means different for the wingbacks on if Chris Richards is all the way back, or if there's something specific with the way he plays, if that allows more or less from the wingbacks. So, yeah, there's still some fluidity back there and some questions with the defense,
How about you,
which
Cody?
yeah, that leads me into mine, which that yes, the defense, everyone is gonna be looking at that on how they come out and how they actually perform. But because that is the question, for me, I'm looking at the attack. I mentioned this earlier, just the attacking core, not necessarily the front three. But because I am worried about that question in the back, I think that goals are going to be scored, or they have to be scored if this team is going to be successful. So, and like I said, I do really genuinely believe that the players that they have, and even some of them coming off the bench, Gio Reyna being one of them, and maybe Pepe is a different kind of a player from Balogun. I just the front of the midfield into that attack, I think is genuinely world class. Now, what does world? How do you define as a top five, top three, top 10? I don't know, but this is a very good attacking core, and I think we saw some of that against Germany. I know one goal went in, but they were causing some problems, and I think when those guys have a full 90 minutes and they're not subbed out at half in the same way, I think they're just going to keep chipping away even more. And I really do believe that our attack is going to cause problems even when they get up against some of the bigger teams. So I'm looking at the attack because I think that we are going to leak a few goals, and I think that the game is gonna be scoring more goals than the other team.
That is usually how it works, right?
That's how it works, I know, but I think I explained my thought process there
No,
well
you
enough
did
to
good, man. I
not
just
sound ridiculous saying that obvious point.
I had to be a little snarky.
Yeah.
It is always one of those worries for coaches that, you want to be able to outscore the other team, obviously. But if you give up too many goals, can you always outscore the other team? That's not always a obvious, easy thing to do. But just a quick little trivia question for you. When the US played Paraguay last time and they did have the little brawl at the end and all that good stuff, and the US won 2-1, who scored those goals?
Mm. Robert, we just watched that documentary.
Uh, was
How
Luna
about
one
yeah,
of them?
I was gonna say Diego Luna is one I think that was.
When the US beat Paraguay November 15th of 2025, it was not Diego Luna. Both of the goal scorers is on the current US national team
But
roster for the World Cup.
I think Luna had an assist.
Oh, he might have had an assist. I don't have that.
Haji, right?
Weston
No.
McKennie.
Nope. Nope.
Pepe.
Nope.
We've said
Really?
all of the attackers. Balogun had to get one of
Yes.
those. Okay.
Balogun, okay.
Balogun,
Balogun got
Pulisic,
one.
and Pulisic.
Nope. Who's everybody's favorite player to question being on the national team?
Is it
Berhalter?
Tessman?
No, it was Reina.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Reyna, of course. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was picking up trash in front of the box or
That's right. Yeah.
in the
But he did
6-yard
it.
box. Yeah. So,
He
okay,
scored in the
Cody,
4th minute.
you brought up a interesting talking point, maybe a bit of a hot take.
Thank you.
Remember against Senegal, who released Pulisic into the box, who eventually then assisted whoever it was, the back post, was it Dest or whoever? That was Ricardo Pepi. Um, he really combines well with
Yeah.
Pulisic, I think better than Balogun does. So it is nice to have that off the bench, but could Pochettino pull a starting Pepe up there and see what happens?
Keeping him in. Yeah. Or no. Oh, starting Pepe, you're saying. I doubt that, but I like you said, the idea of Pepe coming off the bench is a bit of a change of pace and a slightly different player in the way he connects versus Balogun. I really like that in the second half. That's a great tool for us.
It can work either way too, but yeah, another thought is just where does McKennie best fit right now against Germany? He started with Adams in there, as the 8, Adams more of the 6. But then second half, he was pushed up more as where Tillman was, like that attacking midfielder, and was more effective because first half he was really kind of like, okay, is McKennie on the field? So it'll
Well,
be
I do think McKenny has some freedom, and I think that's how you get the best out of him is to let him roam around a bit
right.
and read the game because I think that's his actual skill. So I'm hoping wherever he does start on the field that that's just kind of built into the formation and the way they play.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably like to see Berhalter, who's our best free kick server, of the ball, play in McKennie's spot and then push McKennie up, and I drop Tillman out. That's an
And
adjustment
then take out
would be in
Tillman.
favor of.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, there's a route for something different happening here, and I do. There's a route for Berhalter to be like a really key player in many ways. So I don't know, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Maybe our question about the keeper, that's probably not a good thing to be having hours before a World Cup kicks off. But all of the other things, I think, are small tweaks about this player in that position and maybe one other guy is starting versus another guy. But I think that it is intentional in the way Pochettino built this team and there's a lot of fluidity and he has a lot of options for in-game adjustments and things like that. So I like these last remaining questions, if you're going to call it that, these little tiny fine-tuning details.
Well, Cody,
They may not.
there's one question that I'm tired of people asking. Okay, so Poach is apparently on his way to wherever, I forgot where, to coach. after this
Not
World Cup.
necessarily. He's also been in discussions with
Yeah,
U.S. Soccer
yeah.
about staying on.
But I've seen people saying, "Oh, he's already checked out. He doesn't care about the United States' fate in this World Cup." I'm sorry, but, again, going back to the documentary, you see the passion that he has just for the sport and for the US. He's grown a lot. He said he even admitted he's learned a lot and he's grown a lot in this job. His passion is there. He's locked in. He's here for it, and, don't be questioning Poach.
Yeah, that's just objectively incorrect. If for no other reason than just this is the way it works. Like this is what national team coaches do or international coaches generally do. They
Yeah,
they
right.
sign on for a World Cup and then they're gone. So to act like just because they're people have asked him about what he's doing after, that means he all of a sudden doesn't care about this one thing that he was hired for
Right,
here.
right, yeah.
It's just objectively ridiculous. So yeah, that's just one of those. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if people get angry and passionate in U.S. soccer and media and these talking points, but sometimes it just seems sophomoric in some of the things that we do ask about and things we do get upset about.
You mean like my rant earlier about a proper footballing nation where there's a lot of idiots saying things and asking questions that really don't really pertain to how people might actually think or behave? I don't know. I mean, I understand why people say proper footballing nation. We
Right.
get angry about our team playing bad. I just think that sometimes it is ridiculous about how we approach that.
Yeah.
Pochettino doesn't want to lose. Okay. Would he perhaps care more if he was coaching Argentina? Probably yes. Okay.
Well, his home
But
country. Yeah, sure.
exactly. That's my point though. He wants to win. And honestly, if his team lays an egg in the group stage and doesn't get out of the group, maybe who's ever looking at hiring him doesn't hire him after
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So,
I doubt
eh,
it, but
yeah, I know, but I just don't think I don't think Pochettino's going, yeah, I really don't care how this team performs. He wants to win.
okay.
And he would love to be the first coach to coach a team to the World Cup, to win the World Cup that was from a different country than he's coaching. Because that's never happened. Every team that's won has had a native born coach.
Holy shit, is that true?
It is true.
Of the 8 teams that have ever won.
I know it's only 8, but and
It's
I
only
know
8 countries, but it's been how many teams? Because
yeah.
every year is a
But
different team.
still, I mean, I guess still would lend to create if you're a team that can win the World Cup, then you're gonna have plenty of coaches in your country that are very good at doing it.
Right.
But still, that is, I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
So there you go. Listen to this pod, learn something new.
There you go. Good job right at the end there, Thad. Okay, we've talked all the way through the game. Any different feelings about this? We've had some predictions, but how about just we don't need to go goal predictions. Are the Americans getting all 3 from Paraguay, Thad?
Yes.
Yes, Robert.
I'm gonna say no just because I don't wanna curse us.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I am going to say yes. We couldn't all say yes. Yes. 3 points for the Americans Friday night. Thank you for listening.
We're the red and the white and the blue, and we're coming for you. We'll take on the world and we'll take you too. So stay standing tall, proud and true. We're the loud and the proud. 90 minutes rowdy in the crowd. The Yanks are here and we ain't going nowhere. So stand up and fight if you dare. Over there, send the word over there. And the Yanks are coming, the drums tumbling everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over the is down.